Hey everybody, welcome to Political Excess. Today, let's cover the primary results from yesterday, August 2nd. Some of the races are still outstanding, but I'm going to go through it as quickly as I can to cover just the highlights. So let's jump right into Arizona. And for governor in the Democratic primary, as expected, Katie Hobbs easily wins that nomination there. On the Republican side, this is where all the drama is. Kari Lake is leading as of now with about 80% of the vote in. She was trailing for a long time, but as the election day vote came in, she was able to take the lead. She should end up winning it to take on Katie Hobbs. For U.S. Senate, Mark Kelly was unopposed. So down here to the Republican primary, that was another competitive one. Lake Masters, he did pull it out with about 39% of the vote as of now. That was not a surprise, and that will be one of the big races to watch in November. The other statewide races, I'll just scroll through here if you want to take a look. There were some close races for Secretary of State and Attorney General. The Trump-backed candidates did win both of those Republican nominations. Let's go on to the U.S. House for Arizona. In the 1st District, bit of a competitive primary on both sides, but most of the focus is on the Republican side. Dave Schweikert, he won it with 43% of the vote, and he should be able to hold on to that seat in November. Not by a huge margin, but a little bit. The 2nd District, the winner there to take on Tom O'Halloran is Eli Crane with about 80% of the vote in. Crane is leading with about 34% of the vote. In the 4th District, Kelly Cooper is the leader there with 29.5% of the vote to take on Greg Stanton. That race could be competitive, but Stanton has an edge. In the 6th District, it is Juan Ciscomani, the winner there with 46% of the vote. You can look at the rest of the Arizona House if you'd like, but let's jump over to Kansas. Let's just first look at this abortion amendment results. It was defeated as I anticipated. Don't think it's really that much of a shock, but it was defeated with a little under 60% of the vote. So as to what effect that will have on other states over the next few months, that's hard to say. But that might be a good thing for Republicans. If this is a contentious issue, maybe they will dial back their rhetoric a little bit. It's a possibility. Well, let's go on to the statewide races for Kansas. For governor, the winner there, no surprise, Derek Schmidt for the Republicans, 80% of the vote. He's going to take on Laura Kelly in the fall. We'll scroll through the rest of these in order to keep things moving, so you can take a look at this U.S. Senator primary, Secretary of State, that was a close one. And I will mention this Attorney General race, though. Chris Kobach, he did win with 42% of the vote. He's controversial, but he probably will win in the general. But you never know what could happen. In the U.S. House for Kansas, there was only one race to watch. That was in the 3rd District for the Republicans. And as expected, Amanda Adkins, she did win the nomination to take on Sharice Davids. None of the other primaries matter at all, but in the general election, this 3rd District is going to be highly contentious. Let's move on to Michigan. The Republican primary for governor there, the winner, Tudor Dixon, not much of a shock, over 40% of the vote over Kevin Rinke. She is going to take on Gretchen Whitmer in the fall. Whitmer does have an edge, at least. We'll see if Dixon is able to put anything together in time in order to take down Whitmer. Let's go on to the House races, and in the 3rd District, on the Republican side, that was a big race. Peter Meyer, the incumbent Republican who voted to impeach Donald Trump, he was narrowly defeated by challenger John Gibbs. It's going to be tough to see if John Gibbs is able to actually hold on to that seat, as with redistricting, it did shift toward the Democrats, and the Democrats did prop up Gibbs. So if Gibbs wins, they really only have themselves to blame. Scroll through some of the rest of these, but in the 8th District, Paul Young, he's the winner for the Republicans to take on Dan Kildee. In the 10th District, that open seat, Republicans do have John James. The Democrats have Carl Marlinga. James should be able to win that open seat. In the 11th District, two incumbent Democrats going at it, Haley Stevens, Andy Levin. Stevens was expected to win. She did get it done with a 60-40 margin. And in the 13th District, the winner there for the Democrats, Sri Thanadar, he pulled it out with 28% of the vote over Adam Ollier. Let's go on to Missouri for U.S. Senate. The Republicans, they had a competitive primary, but the winner there was Eric. And which Eric? Well, it was Eric Schmidt. Not really a surprise, 45% of the vote. Greitens got third place there. So Eric Schmidt, the Attorney General, will go on to take on Trudy Bush Valentine. She won with 43% of the vote. That should be a safe Republican hold. I'll switch over to the U.S. House for Missouri. I'll scroll through. You can look at these if you'd like. Cori Bush, she won her primary. Not many of these were really expected to be competitive. In the 4th District, Mark Alford, he did end up winning it, 35% of the vote there for the Republicans. And in the 7th District, Eric Burleson, he did win that nomination for the Republicans there in that open seat. So not much to look at for the House in Missouri. Finally, the last state is Washington. Let's take a look at that primary for U.S. Senate. With Washington, it's the top 2 vote-getters that go on to face off in the general. And for U.S. Senate, it's Patty Murray and Tiffany Smiley. Not really a surprise there. And for the U.S. House in Washington, a lot of these races do not have even 50% of the vote in yet, which is disappointing. But let's see what we have anyway. I'll scroll through these so you can take a look. But down in the 3rd District, Jamie Herrera Butler does have that 2nd spot as of now over Joe Kent. Things could change, but if Butler advances, she's going to win in the general. In the 4th District, Dan Newhouse, just like Jamie Herrera Butler, he voted for impeachment of Donald Trump. As of now, he does have that top spot. And again, if he advances, he is winning that general election. And the only other one that matters is the 8th District with Kim Schreier. She's advancing, and 2nd place there, it's very close. Matt Larkin has a lead now, which, of course, could change. So that's about it for Washington. Some of these could change. I want to stress that, but that's where we're at right now. Everything else is basically set, except for Arizona governor for the Republicans, but that probably will be Carrie Lake. So that is a quick recap of the primary results. Feel free to rewatch the video, rewind it, whatever you need to do. The links will be down below if you want to look at those. Let me know if you have any thoughts on any of these races. And if you enjoy this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.